Heidi Ho Power Rangers. It is Casey Walker 805 here with some vintage cards. I did a video before talking about I picked up all of these cards right here. That's like 30 cards, and then this stack of vintage cards all for less than $10. So I had to break it up into a two-part video because I run my mouth. So shout out to BmoreGreg, who just does a lot of very cool vintage cards. There's other guys out there, Silver Jackify, New York Yankees Fan 7. There's guys out there with great DB Tiller, great vintage baseball card collections. But BmoreGreg has a swag and a flavor that I like, and a coolness about him. So these are in honor of BmoreGreg, and kind of making me want to, even though these are low end and they're not high value cards, it's kind of got my juices flowing and making me want to respect and pick up some stuff. So this is a home run leaders from 1972. RBI leaders. Stargell, Aaron, and Joe Torre. I never knew Joe Torre was that great of a player, but as I get into the vintage stuff and start seeing the stats, I realized he was a very good player. Here's the home run leaders card. This is from 73, excuse me. Johnny Bench, 40 home runs. He gets slept on in the hobby. I don't know why, but they do. And then Dick Allen, who was another great hitter. My father was a big fan of his. And then we're going to get into some 1972. Orlando Cepeda was a great player. Played for the Braves. His stats speak for themselves. Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. Really good condition. Was really pleased with this card when I got it, especially if you knew what I paid for it. Just a very cool card, very good shape, and he threw a bunch of junk, grease balls, spit balls, knuckle balls, anything to get the job done. But he did get to the Hall. So Jerry Koosman, another guy that as I learned the vintage stuff, I've had appreciation for. So 73 tops of him. 1974 manager's card, and I got it just because of Eddie Matthews. Shout to Pepino, man. I know he's a big fan of the others, like the other guys on the team that make the team what it is. And Hank Aaron got all the praise, but Eddie Matthews was a hell of a hitter, man, and had some great seasons. And I also am a fan of Eddie Matthews, so that's why I picked this card up. There's a Bob Allison, another guy that as I learned more about the vintage stuff, I get into. And then he's got Jack Frost's gloves on. As you can see right there, Frost, he's got your gloves. We got to get after him. Or maybe you stole that from him. You have to let me know in the comment section, Frost Diggy. But it's a Bob Allison. That's a 1966. This is a 74 All-Star card with Ron Santo from the Cubs, and one of my favorite players ever. I love third baseman. You heard me talking about Chipper Jones and Beltre. I just have a thing for catchers, center fielders, and third baseman. Brooks Robinson and Ron Santo, both really great players. Robinson, the human vacuum, speaks for itself. Get into these older Pirates teams. My brother's a huge Pirate fan, and Stargell and Clemente and Clendenin and Moda and catching a brain fart right now, a second baseman. It'll come back to me. He's a Hall of Famer as well. I think he holds a record for doubles turned in a season. Just great card. Speaking of Moda, there he is right there. My father also was a big fan of his. Talked about how prolific he was, hitting, especially off the bench, providing that spark for those teams. Tommy John, I just kind of like his story. Not well versed on how great of a pitcher he was, but I know he did spend some time with the Yankees, and I like the Yankees. So Tiant, I do like him a lot. I think it's like his second, maybe or third year card. It's in really good shape. As you see, the centering's pretty good. These are all 66 tops. The Bucks card, the Moda, the Tommy John, these are all from 66 tops, and I got these at rock bottom basement prices. Again, really good shape the card is in. Just a great card, great picture, love it. Vida Pinson, Aaron Davis, 619, had bought a rookie from this guy, and I really didn't know a lot about him. So I went and started doing some research on his stats and just kind of his history as a player, and really underappreciated, talked about when there's a lot of guys out there that are way overrated. Great player, and to me has numbers that should have put him in the Hall or close to it. But great player, again, another car that's in really good condition. A little soft corner right there, but for a 1966 car that you spent 50 cents on, no creases, no damage, no dinged corners. Beautiful card again. Great photography in the 66 tops. And then this is a Boog Powell, probably my favorite one out of the group, maybe up there with the Pinson and the Tiant. Just a great card. Great player. Good centering on the card. And I bought a couple of magnetics just because I wanted to put some of these older cards in the magnetics. It just feels like the card looks more special, carries a different value when you have it in this, although it really doesn't. It just kind of creates the illusion that it does. And I've seen other people with them in there, and it just makes it look special. So beautiful card, Boog Powell, Hall of Famer. To round out this group of cards that, again, I got all of these vintage cards. Again, shout out to BmoreGreg and all the vintage hardcore collectors, which I'm not, but I'm appreciating and getting into more since I've been back. And this whole stack, I got all this for less than 10 bucks. So thank you, eBay, and to the late night sniping crew. I know we got another guy out there, Karen Mayam, who's another eBay sniper. We talked about having an eBay battle, like putting up a dollar amount and seeing who can get the best cards and let the people judge by watching the videos. So if you want to get involved with that, maybe it's something we could do with a handful of guys and let the people be the judge. But shout out to all my hardcore collectors out there doing what you do. Guys like Star Dog on vacation, busting open packs. Can't be mad at him. Mark from Kentucky on vacation, going to local local card shops while he's on vacation. Shows the appreciation for the hobby. I celebrate the hobby, and I thank all you guys for what you do. This is therapy. Trust me when I say that. I get transported to a better time. All right, man, keep grinding. Love the hustle. And I see you when I see you.